All right, good afternoon, class. Today I will be presenting our presentation on the bad or against antibiotic use in livestock. We are group number 3. My group members are Avianna Hernandez, Cynthia Avendano, Gerardo Estrada Quezada, Kaitlin Murrell, and Theresa Cardella. The history behind some of the antibiotics. In 1966, the editors of the New England Journal of Medicine warned farmers around the world that if they continued to ignore the reality of bacterial resistance, they would find themselves back in the pre-antibiotic Middle Ages. In the early 1970s, some Americans decided to start trying to get feed with antibiotics banned. These people arguments was that feeding the animals subtherapeutic doses of antibiotics fostered bacterial resistance in those who ate their meat. The people who were against the antibiotics in animal feed had this reasoning based on studies that were done. Yet there were alternate studies also done that proved there was no sufficient evidence that those who ate the livestock meat were fostering bacterial resistance. So basically what this is saying is that large doses of antibiotics can actually be harming. Bacteria, over time, they start evolving and start adapting to certain conditions. Once they get enough of those antibiotics, they will start learning and they will start reacting accordingly, and they will start just evolving to the point where antibiotics won't do any harm to them. As mentioned here, it says that if we continue to ignore the reality of bacterial resistance, we would find ourselves back before antibiotics were even created. So basically, the more we use antibiotics, the more the bacteria is going to evolve, and we're just going to be back where we started, basically. The more we use antibiotics, the less effective they're going to become. People are already tethering with the idea of not using antibiotics in animal feed, and that's also a very good point to add that if they don't put as much antibiotics in the animal's feed, then we could prevent this from happening. In the 1970s, the FDA attempted to impose new restrictions on antibiotic use on animals, but eventually backed down when they were threatened of having their budget cut. The FDA then said that they believe that going in a more voluntary approach to reduce the use of antibiotics will be more effective and an even faster way of reducing these antibiotics. In 2003, Louis Slaughter introduced a bill that would force a more detailed reporting on how antibiotics were being used in food animals, and also make the companies phase out those drugs over a period of time. The FDA, they basically regulate, they're trying to regulate the use of antibiotics. See, as I mentioned before, if we reduce the use of antibiotics, they'll be more effective. In turn, the longer we have antibiotics, the better. But if we abuse that use of antibiotics, it will go terribly wrong, and we will basically end up where we started. As you see, they're introducing new bills. The FDA is getting in on this. They're trying to put no restrictions on this because, as we can tell, if there's no restrictions on a certain thing we do or something, people will start abusing it. People will start misusing it, and just everything will go pretty much wrong. Some ethical aspects. Feeding antibiotics to livestock is not good for humans. Consumers believe that they are eating the antibiotic, and antibiotic use in animals can cause human infection via food. When consumers are eating meat or any type of poultry or anything like that, they believe they're eating the actual antibiotics because we put so much in our meats, in our livestock, that we're basically just eating the antibiotics from how many we put in our animals. That's what people believe. They also can cause human infections via the food. And as seen from this little picture right here, it says animals in the USA consume more than twice as many medically important antibiotics as humans. 70% are consumed by animals and 30% are consumed by humans. As you can see, that's more than double of what we consume. And that is saying a lot, since we have a lot of illnesses as well. And to see animals have more than double of what we use, that's saying a lot. Some more ethical aspects. Non-use of antibiotics will not keep the animal safe from sicknesses and diseases. It will not be able to treat the animal if diagnosed with illness, and 20% of livestock that are not fed antibiotics are lost to disease. Cultural and sociological importance. Out of the 80% of antibiotics sold for animal use, only 70% are medically important. Overuse of antibiotics lead to resistance in bacteria for humans. The overuse in antibiotics lead to economic losses for excess treatment in hospital stays and medicine. It is estimated to cost between 21 to 34 billion, as well as an additional 8 million hospital stays per year. So as you can see, the resistance in bacteria, as I have mentioned before, there's a lot of economic losses because of the overuse of antibiotics. If we were to have this limit on using it, we wouldn't have so much money lost. 21 to 34 billion, that's no pocket change. That's a lot of money. And as you can see, the little picture right here, and the graph varies by country to country. And all right, some current events that we have. Overuse of antibiotics is rising over the years, and it is contributing to the growing resistance of bacteria towards antibiotic resistance. Antibiotics should only really be used to cure animals from their diseases, not to promote an insane amount of growth. So as you can see from that, antibiotics should only be used to cure the animals. They should not be used to give them insane amount of growth, as antibiotics are also used to give animals insane amounts of growth. But antibiotics should only really be used to fight illnesses and prevent these illnesses from spreading out through more animals. In 2013, more than 131,000 tons of antibiotics were used in food animals worldwide. By 2030, it will be more than 200,000 tons, says by the Science magazine. Now, as you can see, we're not doubling it, but I'm saying we're still having an exponential growth in how many antibiotics we're using in just a matter of a pretty good amount of years, about 17 years. That's a lot of antibiotics. Livestock are now subject to more and more antibiotics, and scientists are afraid that the bacteria from those livestock will transfer to humans and may become lethal as they aren't affected by antibiotics. Now, this is a very, very good point. As you can see, the more we use antibiotics in livestock, the more they're going to be prone to not even being affected by these antibiotics. But once these bacteria move to humans, we are not going to be able to do anything about it, because of the simple fact that they have already combated those antibiotics and they already are evolved, and once they get to us, they could even become lethal. At the moment, there's no cap on the use of antibiotics for all livestock, so this means that literally farmers and large corporations can feed livestock a large portion of antibiotics without any legal punishments. But as of now, they are working to find a cap to the use of antibiotics, according to scientists. So sadly enough, there's no cap on the use of antibiotics, and there should be. There should be laws and restrictions imposed on this. But since farmers and government are making money off of this, I'm pretty sure it will take a while before we start actually getting rules and laws applied to these type of things. As you can see from the picture, basically they're just feeding them all antibiotics, pills, and everything else they could think of, and that's very bad to an animal. some knowledge of the material. The widespread of antibiotics given to livestock has led to multi-drug resistant pathogens. Also, antibiotic-resistant human disease have occurred from bacteria from the antibiotic-treated livestock. So as you can see, it's already starting to happen. Antibiotic-resistant human diseases have already occurred. So this is already a bad sign. High doses of antibiotics given to chickens has led to salmonella strains being resistant and being found in both meat and eggs. In 1983, this phenomenon was also demonstrated for low-level use of antibiotics in livestock. So you can see already salmonella strains have been resistant to antibiotics. High doses of antibiotics too has led to that. So this is already found in stuff we eat. We eat meat, we eat eggs, we eat a bunch of this produce, and we need to limit that antibiotics before it gets out of hand. Fluoroquinolines that is used in livestock can contribute to a larger resistance in foodborne bacteria that is known to infect humans. The Minnesota Health Department discovered that 70% of the chicken meat samples collected were polluted with Campylobacter, and that 20% of the meat carried a resistant strain. So as you can see in that that bullet point, 20% of meat already carried a resistant strain. So 20% of the food out there, of this sample that was collected, basically, carries a resistant strain. So imagine how much meat in our grocery stores actually has some type of bacteria that is resistant to our medicine, to our antibiotics. And imagine getting a disease from that meat and not being able to cure it. As you can see in the bottom left corner, we have a cow, and it's not looking too happy. A lot of the use of antibiotics gives a lot of growth. It does fight disease, but the overuse of it can eventually kill the animal. As you can see, we have more pictures of cows, chicken, some pigs, and we just need to keep these animals in well-being, not just for our sake, but for their sake as well. Antibiotics are not something to be messed around with, not to be misused or overused. They're used to combat diseases as they were designed to, not to promote insane amount of growth like we have heard about. These farms need to really get the restrictions that they should be imposed on them because of antibiotics and how they could even affect us in a way. And thank you for listening to our presentation. I appreciate it, and you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.